What's up, guys? Welcome back. I'm here today with the API guy, aka Vivek. What's up, dude? Welcome to my channel.
Thank you for having me, John. It's great to kind of finally do a video with you.
I know. It's my fault. I should have asked you way earlier. So thank you very much for joining today. So for those of you guys that don't know Vivek, he is a Power Apps and Flow MVP. He does both very skillfully, but he is very known for his ability to massage APIs. And so that's why I think where he gets his name. And without further ado, Vivek, I'm going to let you take it away and run your slides and give them a better intro and into who you are.
Sure. Thanks for the wonderful introduction. I've never heard that introduction of mine before, so thanks. Let me start sharing my screen. All right. So what's going to be a session today? Hey Siri, run a flow, and hopefully my Siri doesn't trigger on that. So we are going to use Siri, the voice assistant, which a lot of you guys have, a lot of you who have iPhones. And then we'll try to run a flow using Siri and then make some cool things out of it.
Awesome. I am excited.
Yep. So before we start that, just a quick introduction about myself. I'm a Power Apps champion as well and a Microsoft MVP for Power Apps and Flow. My day job is Digital Customer Experience Manager. It's kind of aligns a bit, but I'm still doing a lot of other things than Power Apps and Flow. Addicted to Power Apps and Flow for the past 2 years, hashtag Power Addict. And these are some of the channels that you can, and let me minimize this. Yep. I'm on Twitter at that_API_guy, YouTube channel that API guy, and that API guy.tech is the blog. All right. So why Siri? Like why are we focusing Siri? So I mean, Microsoft is, I mean, this Power Platform is being used by the businesses, and Siri is, I mean, iPhones is one of the, or iOS is the most used kind of, let's say, the operating system for business users.
Definitely.
So according to this use case, I mean, this user study, 79% of the all mobile activity for business happens on iOS. That's a big number.
I'm not surprised, man. I think that's just,
Yeah.
you look around you and everywhere now, you just see
Yeah.
iPhones. Everybody's got an iPhone.
Yep. And I mean, in US, this percentage is even more higher. This is like a global one. So yeah, that's why we want to use Siri to trigger flows so that it makes our life much more easier.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So how do we do it? So if you have not heard about this yet, it's a Shortcuts app is something that is there on your iOS. If I mean, it's there, it's been there since iOS 11, and it was called Workflow before this. But it's kind of similar to Flow. I mean, but it's something that is native to iOS. And what we are going to do today is kind of make these two talk together so that we can start something from Siri, then call Flow and get things back and all that stuff. So it's not a competitor, I would say, but it's something that is more native to the device, and it makes it much more easier to interact with something else.
Downloading it right now.
All right. So what are the different types of things? Before we jump onto the demos, I just wanted to give you a flavor of what we're going to do here. So we could either, like, we could just start Siri with and trigger a shortcut by asking to do something, and we won't pass any input, like just send me task for the day, something like that. And then, so you're not sending any inputs as such to Flow. It just knows that this Siri has asked you to trigger this flow, and it will start triggering the flow, and then it will run the actions and then send the data back. In some cases, you want to send some kind of input, like maybe update a SharePoint list item with something. So you want to give the input of like, what is it that you want to update, and then we try to update that item. So you'll send some inputs and run the actions. And in some cases, you send some input, you trigger the flow, run the actions, and send the data back and make Siri like talk it out to you, speak it out. So it's a lot of
So
kind of going back and
so
forth. Yeah.
practically, right, for people to understand what this means is you might say, "Hey Siri, do this," and then she'll do it, right? That's the
Yep.
no input one. And
Yep.
then I might say, "Hey Siri, do this," and then she's gonna come back to me and ask me what something, right?
Uh-huh.
Some
Yes.
qualifier.
Yes.
And then in the
Yep.
third option, I'm going to say, "Hey Siri, do this thing." She's going to come ask me the qualifier. I'm going to give it to
Hmm.
her, and then she's going to come back and actually read something.
Yes. I mean, you explained it much better than me. So thanks. Yeah.
No problem.
Yep. That's exactly what we are going to do today. And if our Siri kind of starts triggering a lot, please excuse us. It's
Yeah.
a Siri
Yeah.
demo.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine just went up twice.
Yep, yep. That's gonna happen. All right, so without much further ado, let's jump into the demos.
Let's do it.
Yep. Okay, so we are gonna do a bunch of demos here. And let me just pull out my phone. So I'm projecting my phone right now here, so it's actually live. Um, all right, so the first one that we are going to do is setting up out of office replies. So these are the shortcuts that I've already created. I'm just going to start them from here, but you can set up a Siri kind of message that you want Siri to kind of trigger, and we can see that as well. But for just for the demo purpose, I'm just going to start it from here.
Okay.
So let's start this. June 27, 2019. June 29, 2019. I am with John on a vacation.
Okay. So it
Okay.
asks you, so it comes back with input
Yep.
opportunities.
Yep.
Okay.
And we'll see that in a second. And before that, I just wanted to show, oops. Okay. My mail so that you believe that whatever we just did just happened. So
Nice.
I said I'm with John on vacation, June 22nd
Nice.
to 2019. And you can actually say the timing as well. It does recognize that. So
Okay.
that also happens.
Very cool.
All right.
Very
And
cool.
yep. So now we'll see how it actually looks in this. Like, how do you set up the shortcut? I'll just
Okay.
quickly go through this one, and then we can do the demos of the other ones.
Okay.
So, and I'm gonna go landscape just so that you can see it easily.
All right.
So it's kind of similar to Flow, as I already said. You set up like multiple triggers and actions. So for this particular one, you start with like a text. So you define what is the text that you want to speak out. Then you use speak text. So Siri will speak it out. You can actually even choose the language.
Huh.
So, and
So
the
she
voice is,
spoke that first part to you? She asked you
yep.
what your start time
What
was?
is it started in? Yeah. Did it come
Okay,
out
so
or was
no,
it
we
not?
didn't no, we didn't hear that part.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So when it on this side, it kind of looked like the prompt came up and then you
Hmm.
spoke something. Like maybe that text was displayed
Okay.
on the screen or something like that.
Oh, no, it
Okay.
actually asked me. The thing is probably is because the audio gets connected to the PC and then some issue.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
that's
yeah,
why I
yeah.
didn't hear. We
No
will
problem.
try that. I'll show you this first and then we can try doing
No,
that. So
totally. No, it's not a big deal. It's
yeah.
just good to know. I just want to point out for any viewers who are confused on what the difference might be, like why they didn't see that. It's
Yeah.
just that's the disconnect. I didn't either. No one else did. You're not alone there.
Yep. Okay, so we first start with the text. It asks me this, what is the start date and time?
Okay.
Then you use the dictate text. So this is
Yeah.
the place where it kind of understands what you're saying. And then we formatted the text. So I
Oh
spoke
God.
out the date. So format date, and this is the date format which Flow accepts, which Flow
Yeah.
understands
Yeah.
pretty well.
Terrible,
So
terrible daytime format.
yeah,
It's so hard to work with.
but Siri has that, and you can actually do it.
It's awesome.
Uh, And then similarly, what is the end date and time? Again, we ask you to speak it out, take the input, format the date, And then what is the reply message you want to send? So I said, I'm with John on vacation. Again, the same thing. So you get all these different inputs.
Yep.
And then what you want to do is trigger the flow. So how do
Yep.
you trigger the flow? You use the HTTP request. Um, so we'll jump on quickly to the flow portion, and then we'll see the rest piece of it. So this is the flow that I set up. So my first trigger, the trigger is basically uh, the HTTP request. When an HTTP request is received,
Yep.
and then what I did was you can create like so what I want was start time, end time, and the message.
Yep.
So, if you are not familiar with JSON, it's basically like a table, and you can just start putting in the values like start time, just define something random for that time. It's basically a string, and then you keep adding like start time, end time, and message. So this is how you kind of format your JSON, and then just say done, and then it will it will create the schema for it. Does that make sense, John?
That does make sense. That does. And so for someone who's never worked with JSON, basically what you just did right there, they would replicate 3 times to make start time, end time, and
Yep.
then okay. Cool. Yep, I'm following.
All right. Uh,
And then also one other tip that I have about this trigger is when you're working with this trigger,
mhm.
when you put it in place, you need to save the flow, and then that trigger will actually produce
Yes,
that URL for you.
that's a good one. Yep,
Yep.
yep.
And so then
So
you'll take that URL and you can use it other places. But until
yes,
you save the flow, that actually will be blank and you'll be scratching your head wondering, why don't I have this?
yeah, that's a good point, John. So now that we just saw, so we just gonna see this trigger first, and then jump on again to uh, this portion here. So this is the URL that I copied. So the URL that I got from Flow, I just copied it in here. And then what you need to do is, so that's just defining a URL. The next thing that you want to do is get contents of URL. So this basically defines that the URL that you want to kind of trigger is like a post request. Now this gets a bit into like if you need to be I guess if you just copy this, it's easy to understand. But because you're sending some inputs to that URL, you are making a post request. You are
Mm-hmm.
sending some data to it. So
Mm-hmm.
think about it as posting is putting something into it and then posting it. Um, and then we say the request body is a JSON type. So these are the 3 things that I defined: start time, end time, and message.
Yep.
The formatted dates are the ones that I got from the things above. And it's actually pretty neat here. So when I touch here, I can just select on the magic wand over here, and then
Mm.
it asks me what is the variable that you want to select.
Interesting.
And then I can just select that, and then it pops up over there. So it
Very
works
cool.
pretty well that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that's how you kind of select all the variables, and then so get dictionary value is equivalent to JSON action in like what's the parse JSON action in
Okay.
Flow.
Okay.
So what I'm
So
doing here, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, for people who don't know what that means, parse JSON is so JSON is a way that Flow talks behind the scenes, and you saw some of it there with those 3 lines that he defined above. That's JSON, and so basically here parsing JSON means you're trying to take it apart and find or use something inside of it. You need to parse it, which means take it apart for some reason.
Yep, yep. And then, so the reason why I'm doing this confirmation, so I'm actually, if you'll see in the flow, that I'm sending a confirmation back saying that, okay, your out of office reply was set up. So that just gives the user the confirmation that yes, the flow ran and it sent some data back. So we'll see that in a second here. But yeah, basically what I'm doing is getting that value back from flow, putting into text, and then asking Siri to speak it out.
Cool.
So we'll just quickly see here what happens in the flow. So I got the start time, end time, and the message from the Siri Shortcuts app.
And there's the JSON.
I
You're seeing it right there.
Yep. There's the JSON inputs that I got. So the start time, because I wanted it to be in a nice format, I used the format date time. Guess I had some value in it. It doesn't, for some reason, it's not showing up. But I think the format date time just by default, I mean, it understands this value. Like this Outlook action understands the value, and then the message is the one which I'm getting it from here as well.
Yep.
So this start time, end time, and then this is the confirmation. So congratulations, you're out of office. Reply is now live, and
so that's what Siri speaks back to you, right?
Yes, that's what. So yep.
So you could kind of have some fun with it and make Siri like use colorful language if you wanted.
Yeah, you can have anything over here. You can add, you can even add some inputs here. So you can make Siri speak something specific, like, maybe you want to get the meetings for those 2 days, and then say, oh, you have these meetings on these days. Are you sure you want to go on a vacation?
Ah, nice.
Yeah, so something like that, right? So
That's
you can
cool.
do,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do. The opportunities are kind of endless here.
Yeah, I love it.
But yep. So what we're gonna do next is see some other um, demos, and
Well,
let's
and so
see.
now the response is just how you now send all that back to the shortcut.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I didn't. So yeah, the response is, again, you need to define what all responses you want to send. In this case, I'm just sending confirmation.
Yep.
So again, the same way you can generate the schema here, and I can quickly show what I did. So I just put in confirmation, colon, and then message XYZ, and then I just click on done, and then it will create the schema again. Basically, it creates the same schema. So it's as simple as doing that.
Cool.
If you So that's about it. That's
Nice.
on. So do we want to move on to some other demos, John?
Yeah, let's go. Let's see another one.
Yep. So I'm gonna try doing it from the CD directly, and let's see how it
Yes.
works out. So tweeting a message, and we'll see how that works out. I'll just show you where you set up the CD phrase. So in the settings for that shortcut, you can see like the CD phrase, tweet a message.
Okay.
And that's what I'm gonna use now.
Okay.
Let's see how it works. Oop.
I don't see an app called How.
Tweet a message.
Your shortcut says, what's the tweet?
This tweet is being posted using Siri and Microsoft Flow. Oh, no, that's not a good one. That's not a good one. That's not a good one. My accent is the worst, so we'll try something very simple.
No, that's going in
A
the
message.
We're keeping that. We're keeping that.
Your shortcut says, what's the tweet?
This is a simple tweet, and it's a test. Okay, I hope that tweet was not posted, because I'm gonna get a lot of backlash on that.
Oh, let's see. Let's see. Did it make it? Yes. It said push. It changed it to push. Look at that nice autocorrect. This tweet is being a push and using Siri and Microsoft Flow Notes. Hey,
Oh,
that's not as bad as it was at first.
yeah.
But
So
that is
as you saw,
amazing.
yeah, we just posted that tweet using Siri.
Oh,
And
hold on. Can we test something?
yep.
Can you mention someone? If you do
At mention is something that's kind of
oh, that's right.
do. Yeah,
Flow
that's
that's
I
right.
mean,
It's Flow's
it's
fault.
not exactly a Flow's fault. It's actually Twitter's API.
Right,
It doesn't allow mentioning people, because you'll start. I mean, they want to prevent bots and stuff. So
no, that's right. I forgot. I knew
Yeah.
the answer to that already. I got so excited. I was, oh my goodness.
Okay, so the other thing which probably which you might like, John, and we'll test this, is so like getting tweets from a hashtag. So following a hashtag, it will Siri will read out the tweets to you.
Oh,
So
you know
follow a
which one I
hashtag.
love.
Yeah, so let's try that. Follow hashtag.
Your shortcut says, what's the hashtag?
Microsoft Flow.
Oh, she's reading it in your headphones? I can't hear it.
Can't hear me?
No.
Ah, wait. That's
At 9:25 p.m.
There we go.
In Microsoft team on make dat dogen eat handmadig. Lees Marines Holwich met behelp van het Microsoft.
so yeah, it's reading out all the latest
Next
tweets.
tweet tweeted by GamerGeek News at 9:25 p.m. RT at Mud Call just 79. Announcing the general availability of embedded Canvas apps in model-driven forms HTTPS.
Yeah, sounds like a Microsoft Flow tweet, right?
It does, yeah.
Yeah, so you can follow hashtag. And sorry about the audio. I think it kind of, because it's connected to the A Power Mirror, it kind of keeps doing that.
No, that's cool though.
But yeah, you can. So this was the readout latest. This is the flow. Basically, I'm putting that hashtag value here, and
Okay.
then basically making a whole string out of like searching tweets for it, and then making a string of the whole all the tweets together. So I'm just running a for each loop and then
Nice.
creating a string. So I mean,
So
yeah.
this is you could do this on a lot of things too, right? Read my emails, read
Yeah.
my planner tasks, read all sorts of things.
Yep. You can do
Nice.
all that stuff. It's just that maybe because we are not able to see it, uh, let's see if this one would work. So one of the things which I did, so maybe this is something which for SharePoint, if you want to update something in a SharePoint, I'm gonna like do a field audit. So we'll try that one.
Okay.
Let me know if you are able to hear it though. Otherwise,
I did
were you
not
able to
hear
hear
that.
that?
No.
Okay. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is again switch this off, and we will not be able to see it, but you can
Okay.
listen to it. So
Okay.
let's do that.
What's the machine name?
Motor.
Is it working fine?
No. And then,
Thank you. The audit has been recorded.
yeah, so you'll see in a second here, it should, these were the ones which I did yesterday, but let's see. Yeah, there you go. It didn't recognize I said
I
motor,
see.
it's
Yep.
motor, but then working fine, no, and audit time when it was done. So
Nice.
yeah, you can update a SharePoint list. You can actually ask you to read out some list of items and then maybe select something out of it. So
This
you
is
can make it
awesome.
more complex. Yep.
So so I think this is awesome. And I want to kind of throw a curveball at you here live while we're recording. But I think
Yeah.
that to give people the most value now with our remaining time, you know what I think we should do is I think we actually should build a piece live. We should show
Sure.
people how do we construct the request action and get that into a shortcut. Like let's come up with just some basic shortcut and build it real quick so people could just understand
Yeah.
really quickly the building blocks of how to do it.
Yeah, let's do that. Do you
Okay,
have
cool.
anything, any kind of a use case in mind?
Yeah. Okay. Let me think of. I want Siri to read me my last 3 emails or my last 1 email to keep it simple.
Okay. Yeah,
So the
let's
latest one
do
in my
that.
inbox. Okay.
So I would generally start with the flow first because then I have the URL.
Yep.
So we'll start, I'll just skip this for now. So we'll start from here. Siri, yep, not here. This one is HTTP. So we start with the HTTP request.
Yep.
When an HTTP request is received, and it says, as you said, URL will be generated after save.
Oh, they added that in there. That's nice.
Yep. So we'll just name it read out last email. All right. And then we'll click on save. Okay, it needs to have at least one trigger and one action.
That's
uh,
yeah. So you can just put a notification, or you can put if you know you're going to need something later, you can go ahead and drop it in.
So let's see, get email. Get email. Let's hope I'm doing the correct thing here. Oh, it
So
needs the message ID, not this one.
Yeah, you probably want to do the get emails.
Get emails. Yes, that's right. Okay, get emails, and then we'll say in the inbox, fetch only 100 messages, and we'll just do one for
There
now.
you go. Yep, nice and simple.
And the next thing that you want to do is you want to send that data back. So we'll first compose it, because it's always nice to first compose the thing, and then so that you know what's happening here.
Okay, and compose people is kind of just a blank card. You can do whatever you want in it.
Yep. Now, one of the things which would happen now, because is get emails, it will create a loop in here. We'll try to see how we can get over that. Let's just say subject, and maybe the body of the message, and body, and we'll say
Yeah, that's one of the fun parts of Flow right there. You're seeing it. Trying to get ahead of actions or dynamic content you put in.
last email from, yep. And we put from, and then we'll say, yeah, I know what's happening here, but I'm just trying to create a string here.
Yep.
Regarding this. Okay, I mean, it might be a bit of garbage, but we'll see. It should work.
Yeah, so it's not gonna like format great, but I just want to give people an idea of how we get the data back and forth, and then they can go and make it, tweak it and test it and all that.
Yep.
Totally.
Yeah. And then we'll use the response request. So we'll click on response request. And the thing that we need is the output from here, which for some reason I'm not seeing.
Because it's in the apply to each, so the response either has to go in or the compose has to come out.
Let's do this. So I mean, I kind of know how, because it gets a bit complex here. I'm just gonna do the 0th element. I guess I don't know, a lot of people know about this or not, but we'll put it as this. But because you're taking only the last, like the first thing out of it, you can just use this, and then it's from. So for now, I'm just going to use subject so that we can quickly show this demo.
Yep.
Subject. Okay, so this will take in only the subject, and you can add more things. Maybe we'll add just the body as well. Let's see. Okay. So this way we can make it go out of the loop.
So what he just did there is he basically took away that need for us to do the get emails, and he's hard-coded in here through an expression, a workaround. So my suggestion to you guys is, when you're starting this out, you might not want to start with this example, because the get emails is going to force you into that loop. And so to avoid that, try and pick something singular, like a SharePoint item or an Excel cell, whatever the hell you call it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can start with something as simple as maybe the tweet.
There you go.
Yeah, nothing very fancy, just tweet something out. Okay, this should be fine now. Come on. Yeah. And for this, we'll just generate the schema. I could have copied the same thing, but just to show you guys how to generate it, I'm gonna write it again here. So you see, so I basically created the same kind of in the response so that it can generate a scheme. And that's kind of it. We'll hit on save. And okay. Let's now we need to jump on to our shortcuts demo. Let me connect to my phone again. One thing which I generally use, which I don't know, maybe something if you want to use is copy URL. I use push bullet to send URLs to my phone. So just copy this, paste it, send it, and then it shows up on my phone.
Nice. Push bullet. Very cool.
Yeah.
No, so I usually message myself on Facebook Messenger to do that.
Yeah. Push bullet, you can kind of use URLs and files and everything like that.
That's
So
awesome.
I just copied the URL. Now we'll start creating a new shortcut. So
Okay.
I'll go on create shortcut. The first thing that we want to do is URL. So URL, I'll paste it. So I have my URL configured now.
Yep.
The next thing that I want to do is say get content. So of URL. So this is basically, this tells this shortcut app that you need to actually make a request to the URL.
Yep.
So actually this one, it is still a post request, though we are not sending anything. It's still a post request, and yeah, it's just how I think the flow is configured. I mean, the HTTP request trigger is, you need to have it as a post request.
Got it.
And then I guess that's kind of it. You just need to run it just now.
Oh, and then you have to tell her to read it, right?
So the
Is
way
that in
you
here?
need to set it up is, so I'll click on this kind of settings thing.
Yep.
You need to add to Siri.
Ah,
You
okay.
need to click
So
on
this is where
that,
you would do that part.
and then you record the phrase that you want to use. And I mean,
Got
I
it.
can show that. Read out last email. Okay. All right. So we have set this up, and I'm just gonna run the flow from here, and we'll see how it works. Hopefully it works fine.
I can't wait. Fingers crossed.
Oh, okay, there was an error actually.
Oh, that's okay.
But I mean, we can see what the error was because it would have run the flow. And let's see, maybe I was wrong in the get post thing.
This is fun.
Okay, I guess the compose thing was an issue.
Oh.
Maybe my Outlook connection? Wait,
No, so
was
it
there
said
no
that.
last email, I guess?
No, I said something in the compose was wrong, right?
Yeah, because there was an empty array. It couldn't get any email, I guess. I guess because there was no unread email. That's why.
Oh, because you said
Yeah.
unread only.
Yeah, so I'll remove that. No. Then
Save it.
save. Then one thing which we forgot to add here was we wanted to speak it out. So
Yeah.
speak text, and then it will start speaking
Okay.
it. Let's see. Okay. So let's try that.
And equals text HTML. Char set equals
It was an
UTF-8.
HTML, so it's
Our
probably.
needed content equals text HTML. Char set equals ISO
But-
8859.
But you know what? So we could take it and
Yeah.
convert the HTML to text and strip all that out
Yes.
and have her read
Yes.
that. Look at that, right in front of your eyes. I love it, Vivek.
Yep.
You're the
So-
man, dude.
Yeah, so we'll see how quickly see here. So basically, we had it in HTML, and that's why it was starting to do all HTML stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, there is an option in Siri, or you can convert it from here itself.
We could do
Convert
right there.
HTML.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and then send it back.
Yep.
So we just saw how to read the last email.
I
I mean, it's not that difficult.
That was like
Once you
5
kind of
minutes. It took me like
yeah,
5 minutes.
yeah. So you can set up a lot of things this way. One thing which I couldn't show you was list task due today.
Okay.
You can connect it to your to-do task or Outlook task and just make Siri read it out to you.
Yes.
You can also upload a photo to SharePoint doc library. You can actually start kind of a shortcut which opens up the camera. There's an open camera option in shortcuts. So it will open the camera, you take a photo, and then it sends it to the SharePoint document library.
You know what we should do? You know what I think you
Yep.
should do? Since you didn't,
Yeah.
since we're not showing those today, I think what we should do is you should film a follow-up video. And
Yep.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna link that in the description down below. And
Yeah.
then all of you watching, go click on that link, go watch that video. And as soon as you're done watching that video, click the subscribe button to Vivek's channel. Right? Because
Yeah.
I mean, so just so you know, he does cool stuff like this all the time. His channel is full of amazing things. Like I'm showing you guys forms and all the basic level stuff. Vivek is showing you Siri and Flow, like all of the amazing cool stuff. So we should do that. What do you think? You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So two things. I guess I'm gonna write a blog as well.
Okay.
And I'm gonna share. So you can share Siri shortcuts with. So I'm gonna put it on my GitHub so everybody can access it, and you just need to put in the URL. That's it.
Okay. So then you're gonna get me the link for that too, so I can put it in the description as well.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, everyone, the GitHub will be there, so you can go and download all of this, the Siri shortcuts, all of everything you need to make this happen. You have this video, you'll have his video linked as well. You have everything you need to go and be successful in automating all of the things with Flow and Siri.
Yeah.
Vivek, thanks so much, dude. This was awesome. I think we have set a new bar now. Our first video together has been quite phenomenal.
Yeah, I was pretty excited about this, Sam, and hopefully we were able to show something pretty useful. I know there are a lot of good use cases. We just scratched the surface here.
Yep. There's no hopefully. We just showed something very useful.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's it from us for today. You know what to do. Go down, click that like, click that subscribe if you're not already one of the subscribers for the channel. And as always, much love from me. See you guys in the next video.